This audio was never meant to be heard, and once you listen to it, something changes. Not in the recording, but in you. Before the story continues, do one thing. If you enjoy unsettling mysteries and stories that stay with you long after they end, subscribe to the channel now, because this isn't the last recording you'll hear. In 2004, a small independent radio station shut down without warning. No farewell broadcast, no official statement. One night the signal went silent, and the building was locked the next morning. The station was located on the edge of a mid-sized city, in an area already half abandoned. Over time, people stopped asking questions. The place was forgotten. Years passed, the city grew. New buildings rose around the old neighborhood, until the radio station became an obstacle. In late 2023, the property was scheduled for demolition. Workers expected nothing more than dust, broken equipment, and old furniture. But inside one of the interior walls, sealed behind layers of plaster and insulation, they found something no one could explain. A single cassette tape. It wasn't in a box, it wasn't stored on a shelf. It had been intentionally hidden, wrapped in plastic, taped shut, and pressed deep into the wall, as if someone wanted to make sure it would never be found. There was no label, no station logo, no date, only a small piece of paper taped to the cassette. It read, "Do not play." At first, the tape was dismissed as a curiosity. Old stations were full of forgotten recordings, advertisements, music demos, failed shows. But something about the warning felt different, personal, urgent. One of the workers kept the tape. Weeks later, curiosity won. The cassette was played on an old recorder salvaged from the station's remains. The audio begins with silence. Not empty silence, but the kind filled with faint static, as if the tape is already listening before it speaks. You can hear breathing, slow, uneven, then the sound of someone adjusting a microphone, a soft click, a hum, finally, a voice. It's calm, male, middle-aged, no accent strong enough to place. The voice introduces no name, no program, no context. It simply starts describing a street intersection, an address, a time. The voice says an accident will happen there. A minor one, no fatalities. A red car, a broken traffic light. At this point, pause for a moment. If this story is already pulling you in, leave a like and comment what you think this recording really is. A warning, a memory, or something else entirely. This part of the tape was ignored at first, until someone checked. The accident had happened. 2 days after the tape was recorded, the next section describes a house fire. Not dramatic, not catastrophic, just enough to displace a family. The tape mentions the smell of smoke before the sirens arrive. The fire department's report matched the description exactly. The voice continues. It never sounds excited, never frightened. It speaks as if reading a schedule. Names appear next. Common names, easy to dismiss. Until someone realizes they belong to real people. People whose stories had already made local news years ago. A missing teenager, a sudden illness, a man who never returned from work. Each event described on the tape occurred after the date the recording was made. The deeper the tape goes, the more precise it becomes. Times down to the minute. Weather conditions, small details no report ever mentioned. Halfway through the recording, the tone changes. The breathing grows closer to the microphone. The voice slows down. It stops describing events and begins asking questions. Are you listening? There is no pause for an answer. The voice continues. It says the recording was not meant for the public, that it was never supposed to leave the building, that broadcasting it would have consequences. Then it says something stranger. It claims the tape is not predicting the future. It says it's remembering it. The voice explains that time doesn't move the way people think it does, that some moments leave echoes, and some places collect them. According to the voice, the radio station wasn't just a workplace, it was a point of convergence, a place where signals crossed in ways no one understood. The voice says the microphone picked up things it shouldn't have. At this point in the tape, faint sounds can be heard beneath the narration. Low tones, whispers, almost like distant conversations layered over one another. The voice acknowledges them. It says, they're closer now, then it addresses the listener directly. It says, your location doesn't matter. Your year doesn't matter. The tape knows when it's being heard. It says every playback brings something with it. The voice apologizes. Not for what will happen, but for what already has. The tape begins to degrade. Static grows louder. The voice fades in and out, but one sentence remains clear. If you can hear this, you were always meant to. Near the end, the breathing returns. Faster now, unsteady. The voice whispers that the tape was hidden to delay something. Not to stop it, just to give people time. Then comes the final message. The voice says, we can hear you now. The tape cuts off abruptly. No static, no fade, just silence. Those who have heard the full recording report the same thing. In the days following, they begin noticing patterns. Familiar faces in unfamiliar places. Radios turning on by themselves. A low hum where there should be none. Some claim they hear breathing when rooms are quiet. Others stop listening to anything recorded at all. The cassette was eventually returned to the demolition site. The building was destroyed. The tape was buried beneath concrete and steel, but recordings have a way of surviving. Copies exist. And now, so does this story. The only question left is not who made the tape, it's why it waited so long for you to hear it.